since I took my first trip up to the Adirondacks, I've been wanting to go back there. Well, what is going on, everyone? Right now, I am en route to a pretty cool adventure, and that is going to the Adirondacks. So, ever since I took my first trip up to the Adirondacks back in 2016, I've been wanting to go back there because although I was kind of into birding at the time, I really wasn't doing that much photography, and I really wasn't like all that good at birding at the time, and pretty much the only boreal bird that I got was Canada Jay. When I saw them, that was back when they were Great Jay. Now they switched the name to Canada Jay. So I'm very excited to hopefully get some of these awesome boreal birds. My main targets are Canada Jay, Boreal Chickadee, black-backed woodpecker, grouse, maybe some owls, some loons. This is pretty much just going to be a kind of a birding trip, but also very much photography. I rented some nice gear that I'm going to be using and trying out for this trip. So this is hopefully going to be pretty good. And right now, so we've been in the car for a while now, and currently exactly 55 minutes away from our first stop of the trip in the Adirondacks. And another cool thing about this trip is we're actually going to be camping. So we're going to be camping in a tent in the woods. I don't really know. This is one of those trips that could either go really well or could be a total disaster. And we're just going to have to see what happens and see where it goes. But I'm excited. So we just made it to our first stop of the journey. This spot's a little further south. I don't know if I'd said that or not, but this is like just kind of the edge of the good boreal forest that we're at right now. This isn't all the way into the really northern parts that we're going to be going to later in the trip. But right now, we're along the road and we're looking for some good stuff. The lighting right now is really good. We're right along this little lake. It's cool up here. It's also a lot cooler than back home. Back home it was like 80s outside, and here it's in the 60s, so that's kind of cool. Right now I'm hearing red-eyed vireo and what I think is chipping sparrow, but if I'm honest, it's hard because there's a few birds, chipping sparrow, palm warbler, junco, few birds that sound really similar. It's definitely not swamp sparrow, which is one that could be up here. I'm trying to think of the other ones. To me that sounds pretty good for chipping, and there's not worm-eating warblers up here, so I'm gonna call that a chipping. It's like trucks with like 1,000 logs zooming by on the road. So it's gonna be a little tough birding this spot because while I know this spot, I know the road. And I know the road has gotten good stuff, but I don't know exactly where along this road. There's some little trails off of this road and bugs. Yeah, I got those. That's not a logger. Anyway, where was I going with that? Anyway, so I know this road, but I don't know where along this road. That's the problem. We're here by a nice little stream. So far, I haven't gotten a ton of good stuff. I mean, I have gotten, there's been red-eyed deers all over the place, white-throated sparrows, which is cool because although they're in Jersey in the winter, they're not in Jersey in the summer. And the other things, ovenbird. Now we're along some sort of little trail along the road. Just came across some black-capped chickadees, and the one was in some really bad lighting. Looked brown, totally thought it was a boreal. That's kind of my main target for this location is Boreal Chickadee. But right now, I'm kind of bushwhacking to look for a grouse, ruffed grouse, and kind of spruce. I know there's some, spruce is very rare, but there could technically be one back here. No grouse, but yet even more red-eyed vireos, a blue-head vireo, and a black-throated green warbler, which was cool. Climbing down the mountain. Right now is honestly a bit more of a, I mean, I don't want to say scouting, I'm birding, but I don't have my camera out with me right now because it's not, I'm not that far from the car. I figure if I get something good, I can go back to the car. And I don't really know, like, I don't know, I'm not finding a ton to actually photograph right now. I think I might be hearing hermit thrush. Just had a magnolia warbler right on the side of the road. Went to get my camera, but by the time I got my camera all set up, it was gone. All my camera gear. Right now I actually have rented is the Canon 600mm f4. I've always wanted to try out one of these lenses, but it's rented, and it wasn't set up, but then it was, and then the bird was gone. I think that was magnolia warbler just then. Boreal chickadees can be pretty hard to find in the Adirondacks, especially in the summer, but I want to find one. I've only seen Boreal chickadee once, so even though I did not get Boreal Chickadee the last time I was up here in the Adirondacks, I got Boreal Chickadee actually in New Jersey. Oh, turkey! Turkey with babies! Baby turkey! That was awesome. But anyway, my life for Boreal Chickadee was actually in New Jersey. It was a vagrant one. It was in Warren County, New Jersey, up north. It was during a year when there was an outbreak of spruce budworm. But that's the story of my life for Boreal Chickadee. Now hopefully, in my time here in the Adirondacks, you're gonna get to see my second Boreal Chickadee. Been up and down this road for a while, and have gotten some good stuff, but not really my targets. It's almost time to head on over to our next spot, but to go to the next spot, we're going back down the road again. That's just like honestly the way to the next spot. But we're really gonna try and we're gonna get these Boreal chickadees and Canada jays. Okay, here's another photo. Great. Still no sign of the boreal birds that I'm looking for, but I just came across a black-throated blue warbler and a northern water thrush. There's freaking loads. Is that it? Holy shit. Yeah. So I'm almost on to my second location, but on the way out from this road, I passed a lake and I got out and there's loons. All right, so as I was trying to say before, but then the loons were starting to call and come in. But anyway, I came out at this spot near this lake, and on the way out as I'm kind of finishing up here, and I unfortunately missed all my targets, but I was going on to another spot, and I decided I would stop at this spot before I left the spot that I'm at right now. And I came out to this lake, and I came across 2 common loons, which was a huge target for me to photograph. So I got my camera set up and I sat out here. This is a really horrible angle because I'm like on this hill looking down into the water, but I got some good shot opportunities with the loons. Got to see them calling away. They're such cool birds. They're so much calmer than I expected. Like, you know, waterfowl, they're so skittish, but these loons just floated right by and really gave some great views. So there we go. By far my highlight of the trip so far, getting to photograph those loons. And now we're heading over to Whiteface Mountain, which is an hour away. But at Whiteface Mountain is a very special bird, and that is the Bicknell thrush. And as we get closer, I'll tell you some more about the Bicknell thrush. Have arrived. So we have arrived here at Whiteface Mountain. We just got our ticket. Now we're driving up the Whiteface Mountain Memorial Highway for our target bird here, and that is the Bicknell thrush. So Bicknell thrush are a species of thrush. They're actually endangered, and I actually think they're decently endangered, and I think like I'm not quite sure the percentage, but I think like a good amount of their population is on Whiteface Mountain. So this is this is probably the most famous spot for Bicknell thrush. They're only here in they only breed here. They're only here in the summer. They are an endemic breeder to the Northeast, which means that they only breed in these areas. Driving up the road, and I heard a magnolia warbler, Swainson's thrush. I thought I heard Bicknells, but it actually turned out to be Swainson's. This, I think, is going to be a good view here. Just heard a winter wren singing away, and I'm actually thinking about it, and I actually don't think we're at quite a high enough elevation yet for the Bicknell thrushes. They're more near the top, but I'm watching the mountains. It looks awesome, and hopefully I'm gonna get a shot of something in the mountains. I figured I'd throw on the wide angle lens and try for some landscape shots from Whiteface Mountain. So we're driving up Whiteface Mountain and it is all fog right now. So I'm still hoping that I can get a Bicknell thrush and maybe hear one. And honestly, in this fog, if I could get like a silhouette or something, that could honestly be pretty cool. So we're trekking through the mountains on the quest for Bicknell thrush. So I think we're gonna have to come back in the morning because this is the road. You can barely see, and that's supposed to be the view, and that's the glorious view from Whiteface Mountain right now. So I think we're gonna have to come back in the morning for the Bicknell thrush. I'm still listening though. Always listening, because you never know, I might find one. But the fog is honestly getting even too foggy for good pictures at this point. It's intense. It is so foggy on Whiteface Mountain right now. That right there behind me, that's the wall where usually there's a view for Whiteface where you can get Bicknell thrush and all kinds of other stuff. And it's like you can't see anything at all right now. It's crazy. Found something at the top of Whiteface Mountain. Right there is a junco. It's starting to clear up a little bit. That right there is some sort of lake. I think that might be like Placid or Saranac or maybe some other lake, I don't know. But it's starting to clear up a little bit. I think I'm hearing blackpoll warbler though. So, we made it down Whiteface Mountain. Unfortunately, I did not get my target bird. We're gonna have to go back for that tomorrow. I unfortunately missed a lot of my target birds today, but it was still a good day, good first day here in the Adirondacks, and it is still not done yet. I'm still gonna do some night birding, but right now, we're out here getting some dinner, getting some pizza. Then we're gonna head on over to our campground and get set up there and kind of see where it goes from there. But all in all, it's honestly been a really good first day, but I do want to get my targets, so we'll see how that goes. Eating some pizza right near, well, actually right in the parking lot of Lake Placid. And I'm going to get out and scan the lake a little bit and get some B-roll of the mountains. And I just heard red-breasted nuthatch, and I'm seeing some, I think, ring-billed gulls flying around. So I just finished eating. I'm just gonna go take a look at the lake. And got my bins. Just had a grackle that landed in the top of one of those trees right there. And I'm very, like, I just...
Can you eat all your pizza, or can I have one?
You can have one! Anyway, I've been thinking about Canada jays, or gray jays, whatever you want to call them, non-stop lately. And I've seen so many pictures of them on the tops of trees like that. I saw a common grackle land in the top of one of those trees there. I ran in the car, grabbed my bins, but you know, it's a common grackle, not a gray jay. But here we go. Lake Placid. Just had some more loons out on the lake, which is funny because I was in this area, this same area. I was actually out on this lake in a boat back in 2016, and yet I do not remember seeing one loon. Now, does that mean that they weren't there? That doesn't mean they weren't there, that means that I just didn't notice them. So, right now we're trying to find our campsite. Unfortunately, it's really starting to rain. I really hope this clears up so that I can do a little bit of night birding, and I really hope it clears up for tomorrow. And that's what's going on right now. Warm. It's a lot warmer than it was on Whiteface. Yeah, we're looking for campsite 17 right now. Going through the woods.
15.
It's raining.
27. I didn't see the fire pit.
Oh, there's little loons out there on the lake. You see that?
No.
So we just made out here to the campsite. Campsite's back up there. Right here we have a campsite on the water. We got this nice little lake here. I originally thought there were 3 loons, but after looking at them in bins, they were not loons. They were some sort of duck, and by the time I got on them with bins, they were pretty much all the way at the other side of the lake, so I didn't really get that good a view of them, and it's also raining pretty hard right now, so that's another thing. I couldn't really get a good view because the rain was driving. I believe they were gadwall, but I'm not 100% on that. Hoping they might make a reappearance. But yeah, this is our campsite. So, I don't know where to put the light. Just a quick update before going to bed for the night. We had a tent. We were gonna either camp in a tent or put all of our stuff in a tent, but it is pouring rain outside, and the tent has a mesh roof. So we kind of moved everything around and we're sleeping in the car. That's what we're kind of doing for tonight instead of actually camping. I was gonna go look for owls tonight, but it's raining so hard, I don't think I'm gonna get any. So instead, I'm gonna get up at 4 a.m. and try to find some stuff then. Hopefully I'm hoping so much it's not raining in the morning and I can go out and get some good boreal birds. Today was kind of a bust and kind of wasn't. It was still a good day in the Adirondacks. Really glad that I got the loons and got to see some good boreal nesters, like some of the warblers, like magnolia warbler and that kind of stuff. But I am disappointed that I didn't really get any of the boreal specialties, and I'm really hoping that's going to change in the morning, but we're going to have to see. So, for now, hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of the Adirondacks, and I'll see you guys in the morning.